Sometimes a good book can help us understand what Scripture is saying. If I could recommend an excellent book to help us understand this further, I encourage you to get a copy of The Relational Soul, subtitled Moving from False Self to Deep Connection by Rich Plass and one of my university friends, Jim Cofield. Rich and Jim explain how God is out to reclaim and restructure the deepest terrain of our soul, to help us to shed our reactive false self and put on our receptive true self. This concept of dying to self can be misunderstood when read through the lens of a flawed view of our personhood, or through the lens of the 6 rules in the series that minimize our dignity. I definitely misinterpreted this phrase, death to self, in my earlier years. This teaching often showed up in Paul's writings in words like, I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. Or, I tell you the truth, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. Though the principle of dying to self wasn't necessarily taught like this, this is what I heard through my lenses and how it eventually played out. Don't live by feelings. Therefore, don't acknowledge your feelings. Don't feel. Don't live with any pain. Don't live with any tension. Thus, we were to live with no reminders of how much we needed God. That led to not trusting God, which led to protecting ourselves. And that actually resulted in living alive to self, which was the exact opposite of what we claimed we were aiming for, being dead to self. We call this incorrect interpretation dead horse thinking, because I've actually been told that if I would be like a dead horse and someone stuck a pitchfork into me, I would never feel it, and therefore I would never be offended. However, God is not calling any of us to be dead horses. He is calling us to be fully alive, to leave our Egyptian thinking behind and embrace promised land thinking.